So, I kinda, sorta, maybe, in a roundabout way, got blocked by myself on MySpace today. I bet you can't say that. I didn't mean to. Well, I mean, I guess I did mean to. Well, I didn't mean it was like, there was no maliciousness or malintent or hurtfulness. I wasn't trying to be a jerk. It was funny. Let me explain. So, a good friend of mine noticed that someone else on MySpace happened to have my government name. Some cracker. And when I went to their page to see what they looked like, it was a man in his late 60s. Seemed like a charming fellow. Retired, lives in the Southwest. Happy family, whatnot. Great guy. So, I asked me to be my friend. Who wouldn't want to be my friend? Or his friend? Something. I don't know. So he accepted, because he's a nice guy. Now, I've spent like the last 2 or 3 weeks harassing the man by sending him messages accusing him of taking pictures of me when I'm an old man, and setting up a fake website on MySpace pretending to be me when I'm old. What's wrong with me? There's got to be like a clinical name for it, I'm sure of it. His first email, he seemed confused or, to get the joke or whatever. But by the third or fourth time where I accused him, he really seemed to start getting angry, which was my intent. So, after numerous messages and him eventually getting frustrated with me, I decided to go in for the kill, the coup de grace. I sort of did a bad thing, I guess. I don't know. Is this the face of a criminal?
Maybe did a bad thing.
I went on the internet and found a picture of Tom from MySpace and set up a fake page where I claimed I was Tom and sent him a note, the other me that is, claiming that if he didn't cease and desist with running a page of me from the future, that he was going to be barred from MySpace. So needless to say, my MySpace Tom account was deleted, and they weren't very happy about that, I guess. So he put 2 and 2 together and figured out it was me, of course. I mean, how many other nuts are stalking him on MySpace with his same name? Eventually this morning I woke up and noticed that he was off my list. Don was gone. Don gone. Something. He blocked me. Wouldn't you? And I guess the moral of the story is, really, who's crazier than me? Except for maybe me from the future. I don't know, I'll have to work all that out with a time machine and some paper and whatnot. Okay, so I want to start off by apologizing. In my exuberance to share my MySpace prank with the world, last time I filmed my video blog a bit hungover, and in hindsight I feel a bit guilty about it. So this time out I decided to cut out the middleman, and the middleman's name is Sleep. I bring you Fat Boy Malt Liquor, street cred in a bottle. I'm just going to go ahead and do this one drunk. Cool? I'm so hood! I thought this time out I would cover a topic that a lot of people seem to be bothered by, which is absurd to me because of all the ridiculous nonsense I go on and on about that makes no sense to anyone. The one thing people seem to jump on and get bothered by is the fact that I hate that fucking dickhead Dane Cook. The dude sucks. He fucking sucks. Note to self, put a disclaimer at the beginning of this video pointing out how much vulgarity is in it. And I'm not even talking about his stupid movies. There are plenty of shitty actors out there who are way worse than Dane Cook with their bad movie making. I'm talking solely about his stand-up comedy. His fan base and his popularity is totally undeserved and ridiculous. And people stand up for him, which is the part I hate the most. Kind of like that punk kid who left me the snotty-ass comment on my MySpace TV page about hating Dane Cook. Ha 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 ha, revenge, bitch. I'm so hood. So now you might be saying to yourself, gee, Don, why are you picking on Dane Cook? He's funny. Let me tell you why. The thing is with Dane Cook, I've hated him from the beginning. Everybody else kind of started off liking him and thinking, boy, isn't he clever and witty, when the truth is, he was doing some ridiculous brand of Jim Carrey comedy on stage and making an ass of himself. His comedy sucks. It makes no sense. He wastes most of the audience time by making strange dinosaur noises and humping the stool next to him that he keeps his water on. Note to self, apologize to mom. I've kind of digressed a little bit. Where was I? Oh yeah, fuck Dane Cook. He's an asshole. And he's not just an asshole, he's a taint. And I'm not talking about the anatomical area that lies between the testes and the anus. I'm talking in particularly about the fact that he's a blemish on the face of comedy. He sucks. So the worst part about hating stupid Dane Cook is that everybody's first reaction is always the same. You're just jealous, that's all. Which isn't fair, because I'm not so much jealous. Okay, well, I am jealous, but I'm not jealous for me. I'm jealous of the people who are way funnier than him. I could think of 100 comedians who are 10 times better than him. I could think of 10 comedians who are 100 times better than him. He sucks ass and he deserves to die. I'm so hood! And I'm not even talking about the famous people. I'm talking about the guys who've had to struggle a little bit even and watch this asshole jump ahead of them. I can't help but think of the people who went to high school with Hitler and what they thought when he took over the entire country. Honey, it says here that douchebag Adolf Hitler took over the entire country. Ooh, skit time. Yeah. You remember him. He's the one that got his ass whooped by Herschel Rabinowitz and his girlfriend got taken away and everybody laughed at him and called him a faggot. Note to self, apologize to gay people. Yeah, that guy. He's in charge of the country now. Yep. It makes sense, doesn't it? Ludwig, maybe. Jens, possibly. Adolf? Not a chance. Dickhead. Note to self, apologize to Hitler. And if I can't contact Hitler, get a hold of the History Channel. I'm sure they have his email address. You know, the more I think about it, how do we know Dane Cook isn't committing some sort of horrible genocidal atrocity right underneath our noses? Has anyone checked on the Amish lately? I mean, he could be slowly killing them off, and nobody knows a single thing about it. Nobody checks on them. That's no one's job to check on the Amish. For all I know, he's committing some sort of Amish Holocaust and genocide. And then later on, we'll be lumped in as accomplices, and everybody's going to think we were part of it, and we didn't even know anything about it. It's all Dane Cook's fault. And the worst part about that thought is, this is the internet. How the hell are the Amish going to see this and send me on the message and let me know that they're okay? They can't. And if an Amish guy did send me a message, I would know he was bullshitting. I mean, I'm smart like that. I'm so hood! I mean, the more I think about it, I'm sure the Amish are fine. I mean, somebody's building these barns and churning this butter, right? Once again, I've digressed. Where was I? Oh yeah, Dane Cook. He fucking sucks. He's an asshole. He's a piece of shit. He's a tampon licker. He's a douchebag. He's a tool. He's a cunt sandwich. I'm not totally sure what that means. He's a maxi pad eater. He's the type of guy to rape you while you're bent over doing your gardening and not even have the courtesy to give you a reach around. That son of a bitch. Now, the frustrating thing is to me that everyone else is starting to figure out that this piece of shit is not funny. Therefore, I get lumped in with the rest of the people of the world and it seems like I'm unoriginal and everybody else wants to shit on my toilet. You know? And the worst part about it is, I feel bad about being selfish about my toilet. I mean, what's the big deal? I shit there, right? But no. Everybody else wants to come in and shit there and mess it up and break up my little sacred place that I've been defecating on all along when everybody else was doing this. And I'm at the point where I feel infringed upon. So normally, I would just go against the grain and start liking Dane Cook to piss off the people who now jump on the bandwagon to hate Dane Cook. But I hate Dane Cook, and I can't root for him just to piss off people who are going against him. At least not until Dane Cook starts doing weird eccentric stuff and driving around with like a baby on his lap and getting out of a car and showing his snatch to the paparazzi with the baby on his lap and driving real fast and refusing to give the baby back with no pants on. And then, when he loses all his fans and everybody in the world hates Dane Cook, then it'll be cool for me to like him. But until that day, fuck him. Now, at this point, you might start to feel sorry for Dane Cook, which is utterly absurd, because even he can go to bed and sleep like a little talentless baby who just makes dinosaur noises and cries a lot and shits in his diaper and then rolls over and humps the stool. Ew. And the man has earned that peace because Jimmy Fallon is out there. Note to self, apologize to everyone I know. Okay, here's a quick game for you to play. It works on any social networking site. I find it works particularly best on MySpace, but feel free to use it at your favorite one. It's a little game I like to call MySpace Friend or Garbage Pail Kid. Okay, let me give you a little backstory. These adorable little critters are Cabbage Patch Kids. Essentially, they're gourmet baby dolls. They're overpriced, overhyped, and overly creepy. And due to the backlash of the popularity of these little critters, he was invented. He's a Garbage Pail Kid. That's Adam Bomb. He's the most popular one. He's the mascot. He's on the front of the packs of cards. And this is a MySpace friend. They're created to keep people from interacting with the real world. There's nothing worse than social interaction with people who actually are made of flesh and blood. Ugh. Now the problem in my mind lies that I really get my MySpace friends and my Garbage Pail Kids confused. And if you don't understand why, here are some examples. Garbage Pail Kid. MySpace friend. Big money, no whammies. No whammies, no whammies, big money, no whammies, yes. MySpace friend. Garbage Pail Kid. I was doing so well. Garbage Pail Kid. MySpace friend. Garbage Pail Kid. Survey says something. MySpace friend. MySpace friend. Garbage Pail Kid. Garbage Pail Kid? Come on, that is two. That's both. I challenge. Can I get a ruling? Something? No? MySpace friend. Garbage Pail Kid. Garbage Pail Kid. MySpace friend. MySpace friend. I'll find them on MySpace. Come on now. MySpace friend. Garbage Pail Kid. Garbage Pail Kid. MySpace friend. MySpace friend. Ooh. I'd like to use a lifeline. No? Phone a friend? Something? No? Garbage Pail Kid? Big money, Big money, no whammies. No whammies. No whammies, big money. Big money, no whammies. Yes. Alright, this is just something fast. It's bothered me for a long, long time, and I just thought maybe if I got it off of my chest here, perhaps I would be free of it forever if I did it this way. The song The Devil Went Down to Georgia by the Charlie Daniels Band. Come on, you know it. Okay, so the premise of the song is the devil is way behind on souls he needs to gather up, and he takes his ass down to Georgia where he encounters the world's greatest fiddle player. I know, it's ridiculous. It gets worse, hang on. So the world's greatest fiddle player is named Johnny, and the devil challenges him to a fiddle-off. I guess Johnny was tired of fiddling with himself. Okay, so Johnny has learned that there not only is life after death, he's learned from the devil himself. He's learned secrets of our existence, things that people have wondered forever. So then Johnny takes this information that could benefit all of mankind, and what does he do? The idiot bets his soul for a fiddle made of gold. Who in the hell is your financial advisor? You didn't even try to barter for a cello made out of platinum? Okay. As absurd as all that is even, I'm still not to the part that bothers me. Now Johnny, faced with having his eternal soul be sent to damnation in hell, whips out the most amazing song anyone's ever heard. Exactly. He played Fire in the Mountain Run Boys Run. I mean, the devil in the House of the Rising Sun makes sense, with the story. I mean, it's still derivative of the devil and Daniel Webster, and, I'm not accusing Charlie Daniels of lifting, but, he's being liberal, for sure. And now I'm finally to the part that bothers me. After he's challenged the devil to the fiddle-off, and he's played Fire in the Mountain Run Boys Run, and what would he play next to send the devil back to his unearthly realm of fiery abyss? Come on, you know it. Chickens in the bread pan picking out dough. Chicken in the bread pan picking out dough. He played Chicken in the Bread Pans picking out dough? Chicken in the bread pan picking out dough. I mean, seriously, Fire in the Mountain Run Boys Run, that makes sense, but chicken in the bread pans picking out dough? Chicken in the bread pan picking out dough. Chicken in the bread pans picking out dough. Chicken in the bread pan picking out dough. Chicken in the bread pan picking out dough. You'll have to forgive me. This time I'm a little nervous. I'm currently embroiled in a blood feud with a group of people, and I fear for not only the safety of me, but for the safety of my balls. In case you can't guess, I got beef with dwarves. Okay, I'm just kidding. I don't really have beef with dwarves. Well, I mean, I do have beef with dwarves, but I'm not really scared of them sneaking up on me, because everybody knows if they tried to sneak up on you, you would just hear the bells on the tips of their shoes when they tiptoed up on you. And besides, I'm not really beefing with dwarves, I'm technically beefing with little people. Actually, I mean, really, dwarves are kind of cool. Midgets are awesome. They rule. Their little tiny asses make the world go round as far as I'm concerned. There's nothing there's nothing that can't be improved by a midget being there. If you don't believe me, feel free to continue on at home after my presentation is done, and I defy you to come up with something that a midget can't make just slightly better. Allow me to demonstrate. Maybe you're in charge of a magical island where all wishes are granted and the weather is beautiful at all times and you live in a mansion. What could possibly be better than that? Your friend tells you a story about how he had the most wild and amazing kinky sex in the history of time, but then you repeat the same story back to him and include her. I could be here for days doing this, seriously. You're an imaginary jolly fat man who gives presents to the world's children. I wonder what could spice that story up. What could spice that story up? What about real life events where midgets are going to make things clearly better? I love basketball, but I would turn off the last 2 minutes of a tied finals game if this came on. I find professional wrestling enjoyable. It's ridiculous and you don't have to pay attention, but it gets a little bit better when there's midgets on. Take something a little less clearly defined, like bullfighting. Some people find it awful and atrocious and a terrible thing to do to animals, and other people think of it as a classical display of masculinity or machismo in a rich and storied culture. But either way, that's fucking adorable. Aww. Okay, what about things that are just clearly bad? I mean, let's say a loved one passed away, and he was the Undertaker. It was almost worth it, wasn't it? Seriously. Seriously, almost. Let's say you have a friend that you can't take out because he's constantly a drunken mess and you hate to be seen with him. Even if he gets drunk and tries to fight everybody, it's going to be adorable. Seriously, keep him around. Okay, let's see. What about terrorism? Terrorism's awful. What do you got for me about terrorism? Huggable, isn't it? Pretty cute. What's sweeter than a little old couple holding hands walking off into the sunset? That's right, a littler old couple holding hands and walking off into the sunset. What's funnier than fully grown men wearing Lederhosen? Fully grown midgets in Lederhosen, that's who. Yep, that's right. From dictators to pimps to the 4 basic food groups, midgets make everything just a little better. At this point, you're probably saying to yourself, if their teeny-weeny asses are so great, what's all the beef about? I'll tell you. My entire lifetime, there were 2 types of little people. Scientifically, anyone under 4'11" is classified as a midget. Some midgets suffer from what's called dwarfism. Dwarfism is a disease, usually glandular, that affects the bones. That's what happens when you see someone who's of diminutive size and they have abnormally large hands or a really big head or a very impressive midget cock. So, throughout my lifetime, midgets and dwarves lived in harmony with the giant people. There seemed to not be any problems. But somewhere around the late 80s, early 90s, assholes decided to start tossing dwarves. Pushing their luck, I tell ya. I know, classless. Hilarious, and I could only watch it for a minimum of 16 to 17 hours, but nevertheless, classless. And you can't just grab people and throw them for distance. I did it for years. It got me nothing but a sore shoulder. Seriously, it's not good. However, pissed off little elves who were tired of being chucked around decided they needed a political action group. Who doesn't? And what does a dwarf political action group bring us? Nothing, except for a name change. Midgets and dwarves would now like to be referred to as little people. You're not Prince or P. Diddy, you don't get to change your name. Knock it off. It reminds me of the early formation of the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Who in their right minds is going to call someone with brown skin colored? And if you do, you're going to get your ass whipped. I'm warning you. But by the time that all people with dark skin found out that their national political association was going to involve the word colored, it was too late. Letterheads had been printed, doors had been engraved. However, now you have an entire generation of people who are embarrassed by the political action group created to take care of them. And that's exactly what we've got with the midgets. I refuse to call you little people. You're not little people. Some of you may act like little people, but not as much as the average people. They act like little people way more than you act like little people. You little people. And as a side note, at 4'10" being the cutoff for midgets, that makes every woman of average height in Vietnam a midget. That's right. If all the men died in Vietnam, there would be a nation of midgets. And it must currently be a nation of no roller coasters. But that Chuck E. Cheese ball tank thing must be hugely popular. Just a giant wall of circles to put little teeny shoes in. It's gotta be cute. I refuse. I refuse. I refuse. And by refusing, I get lumped in with the assholes who toss midgets and judge people by their height instead of how they act. And the funny part is, the joke is on them. Modern science has figured out that Human growth hormones can help stimulate the pituitary glands and correct dwarfism, or at least extend a person's body in some cases, which means the same stuff that Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens are in trouble for is the same stuff they're going to start giving to midgets. You heard me. Midgets on roids. Be afraid. Be very afraid. And when that day comes, we'll see who the little people are. And you probably are going to want to guard your balls. Alright, I know I waste a lot of my time on these video blogs, bitching and rambling about things that are stupid and pointless, and I really need to get over them. But this week I stumbled onto something that just pissed me off so bad I knew I had to address it to an internet audience. A great American icon, someone who we love and cherish and hold dearly up on a pedestal. That's right, I'm talking about Chuck fucking Norris, that's who. The star of such videocassette classics as Lone Wolf McQuade, An Eye for an Eye, and my personal favorite, The Octagon. As you can see, I'm a fan. Or at least I was a fan until I found out this week Chuck Norris took a break from his vigorous campaigning for Mike Huckabee as president. And what does old Chucky do with his day off? He gets together his lawyers and decides to sue a guy who's compiling a book collecting Chuck Norris jokes. And if it just so happens you're one of the last Americans to not hear any of these Chuck Norris-based jokes, please run them through any search engine on whatever computer browser you might be on. Now, nobody knows where these jokes came from. They're from thousands of different divinely inspired writers that appreciate the masculinity behind what is the man known as Walker, Texas Ranger. Apparently old Mr. Feathered Hair just for men on your beard splitting your jeans while you're doing kung fu kicks with cowboy boots on failed to realize that he could be replaced in every one of these jokes. He's really about important to the joke as Ronald McDonald is important to the hamburger. I'm starting to think that this guy actually thinks these jokes are real and actually are about him and he can do this stuff. Okay, so now I bet you're thinking to yourself, well, what do you do when one of your childhood heroes turns out to be a right-wing litigious nutbag? Here's what you do. You take all those jokes that have been propping him up for the last 5 years of his life, and you take them away and you apply them to someone who really is an action star. My nomination? Bruce Willis. That's right, Mr. Action himself. If you saw somebody do something heroic and you called him Bruce Willis, everybody's going to know who you're talking about. He's far more synonymous with being a badass than old Chuck Norris. As previously shown, here's my entire Chuck Norris library. And here's just a small portion of my Bruce Willis library. Okay, it's settled. You take Bruce Willis. If somebody else can think of somebody better, they can have them. And me, I'm going with somebody cool and retro. That's right, the biggest badass of them all, Charles Bronson. And then together, all of us can cut Chuck Norris out of these jokes completely, and he doesn't have to worry about suing anybody. How you like them apples, Walker, Texas Ranger? That was just a total rambling mess. Hey, there you go. Okay, now it works. That was me listening to a small sample of my new theme music I'm going to be using from this point forward. I was originally using Yellow Moon Bossa Nova by the Neville Brothers, but that's a copywritten song and nobody wants a pissed off Aaron Neville showing up at their house. It's not good to have that big angry dude in the crib. But this is my new music. It's courtesy of Riff from Parliament of Disorder. Here's a link for him and his music. Thank you. What the fuck, man? Swear, you're making me swear. So, goodbye, Neville Brothers. Hello, Parliament of Disorder. And I'd like to give a special thanks to Riff over at Parliament of Disorder for letting me use this for nothing. Attaboy. That's my dog. Okay then, so in summation. Goodbye, Yellow Moon. Hello, Parliament of Disorder. Hate to see it go, always liked the song, but getting my ass whooped by Aaron Neville would be bad. As well as getting sued by his lawyer, which would suck even worse than that. And once again, here's the link for Parliament of Disorder's music. Seriously, what the fuck? Dude, you've been dropping the ball all day long. The pictures are slow, the graphics are slow. Where are my title cards? Seriously, I'm not playing. No, why are you snickering? It's not funny. Dude, I'm out here like an ass. Everything's running by... Yeah, I didn't think so, bitch. Fix it. No, I'm not fucking around. Fix it. On this occasion, I wanted to use my video blog time to thank all the people who've left such wonderful and nice comments and said so many supportive things and left so many kind messages. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. But I would also like to use this time to address another group of people who I feel are ignoring my work. I have a good baker's dozen of videos posted on numerous web hosting sites at this point, and I've yet to get one single spam, chain letter, or phishing comment put on any one of my videos. How is that possible? Seriously. Are you guys sleeping or what? Not one single person has been offered a $500 Macy's gift card that they're never going to get. Nobody out there has been offered a ringtone that they're never going to hear. Take all the people who really hope that their crush will be revealed to them. They're going to remain in the dark. And I have also yet to receive any comments offering a free Xbox 360, a Wii, or a PS3. And just between you and me, take the PS3, okay? It's a higher price point item. If nothing else, turn around and sell it on eBay, buy yourself a Wii that you wanted in the first place, and keep the change, all right? Never take the cheaper item when they're offering you 3. That's just stupid, especially when 3 items are imaginary. Not one single notice of a nubile young nymphette who just wants to shake her moneymaker for a furiously masturbating crowd that an internet audience would provide. Hey, stop that! And I guess the main thing I'm really looking out for and missing the most are the chainmail death threats that are sent out by ghosts and people who will kill you from beyond the grave. Apparently, much like American horror movies, the plots have just been stolen from good Japanese horror films, which leads me to believe that the social networking sites in Japan have way better and creepier comments on their video. You know, so that's something you might want to keep an eye out for. So for those of you who've left nice comments and encouraging things up to this point, please continue to do it. It helps my fragile psyche. And for those of you who are in charge of making money by leaving phishing and spam and whatever the hell reason people leave chain mails for, chop chop, get off your asses, come on. You're hurting my feelings by not tagging anything on my videos. For God's sakes, I'm not going to feel like I'm important until I'm a piggybacking whore for grifters, con men, and internet confidence schemers. Chop chop. Chop chop. Well, now that I've put out a few videos, I've had plenty of responses to them. And I thought this time out we would have a little episode of viewer mail. Huh? What do you want? It's a time-honored tradition. Quit hassling me. I'm running out of ideas. Okay. You'll have to excuse me. I'm really excited about this. I'm all worked up. Okay. Let's see. Wendy from Neverland writes, "You're gay." All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of that. Okay, next comment. Gare Bear Hair Bear. He writes, "I think you're gay, but my mom loves you. She thinks you're hot to trot and wants to play with your junk." Well, Gare, I thank you for the nice comment. I'll try to be less gay, I guess, and have your mom. Okay, next comment. Let's see. Choco Hutch 44 says, "Why can't you be cool like Breaking Benjamin?" I don't know, but thank you for the nice comment. I'll try to be more like Breaking Benjamin. Okay, here's another one. This one is from Teddy Ruxprick, and Teddy writes, "You're a big dork." And who gave you that hot bit of gossip? My X-Men number 94? Okay, let's move on to another one. Actually, let's come back to these some other time. I think this might be a good time to give some constructive criticism to those of you who love to leave hateful comments on my video, or any videos on the internet for that matter, because all comments are appreciated by the people that produce the videos. Yes, even those left by chromosome deficient pinheads. Here are some helpful hints to think about maybe next time you're trying to leave your particular brand of malicious hatefulness in 500 characters or less. Number 1. Take your time. What are you, fucking being chased? Now, I know that writing hateful things makes you all worked up and give you sweaty palms, but calm down. You're safe and secure behind a firewall, Junior. So don't be such a scared little giner. Think about what you're actually trying to say, okay, pussy? And if nothing clever comes to your feeble little mind, just go into the living room and listen to whatever your mom's rambling about while she smokes crystal meth out of a pipe clenched inside of a baboon's ass. And don't be afraid, let me feel it. Let me understand why you're the angriest kid in your subdivision. Alright, number 2. Punctuation, spelling, grammar, all of those are your friends. Hateful comments are meant to inspire a certain rage in the person that reads them, or at least sway public opinion against the watchers of the video from the creator of the video. I can assure you that the best declarations of war were not drafted by a retarded neighbor boy in red crayon who decided to use his left hand that day just to be fucking sassy. And since I'm throwing around a word like sassy, number 3, Jesus Christ, am I tired of poorly worded homophobic comments. And that makes 2 of us, my son. Of the numerous times I've been referred to as gay by lonely teenagers who are trying to come to grips with their own sexuality, it is yet to be phrased correctly. It's always "you're gay" instead of "you're gay." And in the previous wording of that, it actually states that I own a gay. And I take a firm stance against slavery. I won't have it. And then others out there will try to outsmart their own lack of intelligence by speaking in text talk. And then they hit me with the letters U, R, followed by the word gay, which would be kind of clever, but they always put the U and the R right next to each other, so it defeats the purpose of the letters standing as words, and it just reads as gay. And since the rest of the paragraph is filled with inconsistencies and gaps and misspellings, I just really have to wonder if you're accusing me of being gay or asking me if I'm from Uruguay. And if that's the case, your mother's from the United Arab Emirates, bitch. Okay, so in closing, I would like you to remember that leaving hateful comments on the internet is very stress relieving and fun for everyone. But if you don't take your time and think about what you're saying and at least try to be mildly clever or funny or whatever the hell it is you're trying to be, then you're just talking loud and saying abso-frickin' nothing.
Champagne supernova in the sky.
Yeah, so I was watching the MTV Awards, the VMAs, the Video Music Awards on music television, and they had this crazy bitch Gaga dressed up like my boyhood hero, the gritty, grimy badass himself, Ralph Macchio. Just when he's just about to start kicking some ass, all of a sudden I was like, can I help you with something?
What is all this?
Oh, this is the DairylandDon. I'm doing my blog here. Could you step off the frame here, please, buddy? So, anyways,
wait. We don't need this.
Yeah, we use these now, see?
That's not even on.
Yeah, this is on. This is on. Test 1, test 2.
But
yeah,
I don't understand how. Why are you here?
Oh, it's being rebooted. It's a reboot, like Spider-Man, Batman type of deal. So
we're start.
What?
Who are you?
I'm the DairylandDon. You see, I'm on my own show here, and I got my own show. So what we did is.
But it says, look right here. It says this is me. I'm the DairylandDon. This is
That's irrelevant. I'm talking Gaga here, buddy.
But I'm supposed to be there.
No, what we did is we looked at some pie charts and some graphs. You familiar with those at all?
I saw them one time.
Well, yeah. Well, what we did is we looked at those and looked like tested well between 13 to 25 demographic. So what we did, we rebooted the show, younger host, better looking, bigger dicked, and we're trying to appeal to the teens. Yo.
My dick's fine.
Well, that's irrelevant as well. Let me get on with my Gaga show, huh?
But I don't. Why I've been rebooted?
This is a lucrative business, you see here. What we're trying to do is turn a profit. The economy's hurting for certain, and we can't deal with this bullshit.
But it was going fine before. Well, not really, but I mean, I don't need that or use
You
that.
need this. Trust me. We looked at the charts, all right? Obviously, you don't know how to read no fucking pie chart.
I did fail math.
You know what I mean? I keep the bricks clean. I do all kind of stuff. Them dirty ass bricks when I came in here, man. So
but I don't understand what this is. I'm supposed to be where you are. Why are you here?
No, this is the DairylandDon show. You've been dismissed, buddy.
I've been dismissed.
It's about money, you see. This is a lucrative business. It ain't just no blog.
I get, but I don't. Man, get out of here. Apparently we're having some technical difficulties today, and we have a few things to work out with lawyers and various hitmen and mafia people. So please bear with us and join us next time when hopefully we'll be replaced by a better looking me with a bigger dick. You. Be careful, there ain't much ventilation over here for us to be trapped with your fart. Okay, so as time goes on, I notice my washer and dryer get shittier every day as it gets older. Kind of like the Supreme Court or Madonna. So standard operating procedure for such a problem is have someone come fix your old one or go buy a new one. So before I call the repair guy, or woman, whatever. So before I do that, I go comparison shopping. Some of them will throw you some kind of deal. If you buy a pair, they'll take away your old ones to the dump or give your dog a hand job or impregnate your sister or whatever the hell it is you're looking for out of a barter and trade kind of situation. Know what I'm saying, kid? I find a local place. It's got $200 off a pair. So I'm in there shopping for washer and dryer pairs. You know, like I know what the fuck I'm looking at. Just, oh yeah, oh, this is a nice one. It's blue. Look, beautiful. What is that, a satin finish? You know, I put clothes in them, they get clean, I take them out and put them in the thing and they get dry. I don't know, I'm not a rocket scientist. I don't know anything about washer and dryers, but I'm doing my best to look educated and be a knowledgeable consumer, you know, pretending. So I'm looking at a washer and dryer, I'm reading the little information card, and I noticed this, out of the corner of my eye, a salesperson creep up on me. Now, I don't even look at him or acknowledge him, because I know what the salespeople's routine is. They're going to walk up to you, hey, how you doing? How you going to do? And I realize some people like the salespeople. You know, it's fun to get out and talk to a stranger. He seems like he's informed. He's got on a blue shirt. You know, obviously he must know some stuff. Hell, it's a polo shirt. Ooh, high tech. Now, I'm not trying to make small talk with some dude making minimum wage, all right? I can read the little card of information just like he can. If I say, do you know how many megahertz of electricity this one runs on? The dude's going to be like, you know? So, I can read. Thank you. I don't need your help. I know some people like to make conversation while they're out shopping and enthrall me with stories of your wild travels to the back room or whatever the fuck it is you do. No, that's not going to happen. I'll decide what I need, and if it sucks, then I'll blame the salespeople later. That's a much better plan. So, I feel this dude walk up next to me, invading my personal space, and I do my best just to ignore him. You know, maybe he'll go away. No such luck. So I'm doing my best to just look at the washer and dryers and not pay attention to the guy. And I hear him start talking, and I'm trying not to pay attention, but the words just penetrate my consciousness whether I want them to or not. And I hear this dude say, "Look at the washer and dryers, huh? Just so you know, we have a really good sale on stereos this week." Did he just say what I think he said? Because I'm pretty sure that I just heard him go from washer and dryers to stereos without a transition at all. Do not pass go, don't collect $200. None of that jazz. He just cut right to the chase. "Hey, you have a penis. You probably like audio equipment, don't you?" I mean, I understand you got a sale and you got to move product, pal, but come on, man, you're killing me here. That's clearly not what I'm looking for. Now, my first reaction when I hear this bit of nonsense is I have to see what this person looks like. If somebody cuts you off in traffic, if you're standing somewhere and you hear somebody say something stupid behind you, just any amount of ignorance makes you wonder what produced that stupidity. So of course you have to look. You almost expect the person next to you to have a friggin' dunce cap on, you know. Are you escaped from some sort of home? Why are you saying these stupid things where people can hear them? So I turn, I look at dude, and really I'm doing it for partially a selfish reason, because I know I'm going to say something smart-assed, like that bullet is already in the chamber and the gun is cocked. You know, that is going to happen. The president has phoned two dudes sitting in a silo, and they've simultaneously turned their keys. The nukes are launching. There's no calling them back. It's going to happen. So now I have to look this dude up and down and make sure he's not so big that he can't whoop my ass horribly in front of a bunch of people in an appliance department. And I notice this dude has a name tag on that says Trent. I couldn't make up a better fake name for a guy to say something stupid who's trying to sell me appliances and or audio visual equipment than the name Trent. All right, straight out of Central Casting. Perfect, thank you. I would have guessed Rufus the Doofus, but that seems inappropriate for the workplace, especially a name tag. And I realize, yeah, this dude's not going to hit me, most likely. Hope. So, you know, I say to this dude, "What types of stereos do you have?"
Actually, most types are on sale.
Do you have the stereotype where a guy looking at washer and dryers is going to easily be distracted by audio equipment? Because it seems pretty sexist to me. You know, I got dirty drawers at home that need to be washed, and you're wasting my time with trying to hear Lou Bega in 7.1 surround sound.
I'm sorry, come again? Probably not, Trent. I'm up. Peace.